and welcome to this week's edition of the Magenta Show. And I have got the most incredible, beautiful woman I've met in a long time on the show, Mandana Attarzadeh.
Yes.
Did I do that right?
Yes, you did a great job.
My very first Iranian surname that I announced correctly.
You did a fantastic job.
Welcome to the show, darling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
And off camera, what you're not seeing is our darling Maria Angelova. She opened season 4 for us. She brought you here to the studio today.
I was so lucky.
Yeah. So she's been giving me some coaching on how to pronunciate correctly.
Yes.
Mandana, thank you so much, my darling, for being here. I've been running into you at various network meetings for about over the last 2 years.
Yes.
And I have to say that when you're walking around in those halls, you have got this light around you. You make somebody want to approach you and engage with you and talk with you. So I've been chatting for you about a year now. I've been saying, come on the show. And then I met you again at Jennifer Beale's event, a summer networking bash. And that was last year. And we had a chat and I said, come on, you got a book. We got to get you on the set.
Yes, and I was supposed to be here in January.
Yeah.
And then my flight got delayed like 3 times.
Yes.
So I got here about 36 hours later than what I was supposed to be here.
know, yeah.
And I ended up coming here March the 4th, right before International Women's Day. Isn't that amazing?
Fantastic. So you're all about women, right? And that's what we're going to talk about. So if you are a woman in business, or you are a woman seeking your purpose, or still trying to find your way, this is an episode that you're going to love, because that is what Mandana is so good at doing in her community. And we want to share it with you. But first, for those of you who are new to the show, how this works is I would like you to feel if you are drawn to box number 1, box number 2, or box number 3. And whichever one you are drawn to, we're going to, at the end of the show, reveal a color card that's going to be a very special little guided message for you for the week. And these actually turn out to be quite accurate, Mandana, because I do have people contact me afterwards and during the week and say, you know, that card number I picked, guess what happened?
Wow.
And it seems to be pretty accurate. So please feel if you're drawn to 1, 2, or 3, pop it into the comments box. Let's have a look who's joined us here, Mandana. We've got Shannon Fraser. She's our other producer. She's joined us.
Yes,
Dwayne Richard.
Shannon well.
That's right. Dwayne saying good morning. Aurelia.
Hello.
Card number 1 today, Aurelia. Oh, excellent. Aurelia, you've actually picked Mandana's pick of the week. Anna Santos has joined us, and Anne McVie. And of course, Aurelia's joining us all the way from Denmark as well. Nicole Avarella, Dev Shik. I'm going to have voice lessons on pronouncing your name, Nicole, but welcome to the show. Tim Abbott has joined us. Hello, Tim. Oh, that's wonderful. You see, we've already got quite a few people joining us.
Hello.
Dwayne has picked number 2. Oh, excellent. Dwayne, you've picked number 2, which is my pick for the week. You always seem to pick my week, so my pick of the week. So we'll see what number 2 reveals at the end of the show. Right. So when you see me floating around at these events with all these color bottles, what goes through your mind? Do you have any clue what it is that I get up to?
Honestly, I didn't. But then I started hearing about you from other people, and the work that you with color, how it impacts their businesses and their life. So I got really, really curious. I didn't get a chance to come and ask you directly because I was doing my own thing and presentation and everything. But I'm hearing a lot of impact from that.
Yeah.
So
And you're wearing a nice red with your black today. So is red your favorite color?
Red is my favorite color, and I'm all about flourishing. So
of course, red is all about flourishing, and flowers. So you've started it now. I know you've been involved with the Immigrant Women's Group. You've been involved with the Toronto Women's Business Group. You're now doing the Flourishing. It's a new project, Flourishing Women. Why this Flourishing Women? You can't help but say the word flourishing without going like a flower opening.
I know. It's so uplifting.
I want you to just share with our audience a little bit about your background. Why are you so drawn to helping women?
Sure. I just shared with Moira that I always had this passion since I was a little child or teenager, and I grew up in Iran, which is not a country that really puts a lot of value on your identity as a woman. I always had this passion about being a woman and the things when I was looking at what women do in their life, their resilience, their story, their courage, their strength, their beauty, their peacemaking, everything that a woman contribute to the world. This story got me so into themselves, and it usually brought tear to my eyes. So I was so passionate about my identity being a woman. And I see what kind of impact a woman can make, not only on their family and their own lives, on the world, on a general bigger perspective. And that's actually something led me to start this group. I will talk about that a little later. So I had always this passion about working with women, helping with women to love themselves, love their identity, because there is so much crap out there. If you look at it, a lot of women, they don't even want to be a woman. They love to have sons. It's nothing wrong with having sons. It's amazing, but they just don't want to have a daughter because they say, oh, that's going to be a miserable life or something like that. In many countries, still that's a big stigma around having like a baby that is girl. So I just wanted to get as excited as I am about their identity, who they can be and what they can contribute to the world.
But you growing up in Iran had a very supportive family. They were keen on you getting an education.
Yes.
So you actually became a medical doctor and ran a practice.
Yes.
So for you were able to flex some of that female energy and serve in some way and work.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And that's interesting what you said, Moira. I grew up in a single mom family. My mom, she was a single mom.
Wow.
She had me at age 16. So she had to actually drop off the high school to have me. And then in Iran, they didn't let you go back to the normal school. You have to go back to adult school after you had a baby and got married. So she got her diploma in a very, very difficult circumstance when she had a 1 or 2 year old baby, which was me. And then she struggled to go back to university when she had 2 daughters, which was my younger sister. And she became an engineer back in Iran. And then she immigrated in Canada on her own, without me or any support. She actually supported me later to come here to some extent. So I grew up in this single mother family, and I had 2 siblings which are both girls. So we never had like a father figure or brother figure, male figure. So we had to figure out everything on our own, right? Yeah. And my mom, she worked so hard to offer me this education, this opportunity of growth. And I think that had an impact actually on me, just trying to figure out everything on my own, be a strong woman, be powerful the way she is.
Do you think not having an Iranian male figure in the family who might have been a bit more traditional about a woman's role in life, that not having that was your blessing, that you had this women influence?
In some ways, I was missing that. I did miss that, and I know my parents, they divorced when I was age 11, and I brought my father back to my life later, and I loved him till the moment that he left this world. So I missed that father figure for sure, and I think that was, but maybe for my kind of identity, that was what I was meant to be, and the environment I meant to grow to just to create.
How old were you when he passed?
I was 36.
36, so he was with you till that period of time,
For 4 or 5 years he lived with me. I brought him back at the end of his life. He was very sick. I was taking care of him, and we established a very, very good relationship which we didn't have before. So I really acknowledge having him in life later in my life. So I feel I had a father figure at some point. I was missing that.
We were chatting upstairs, and something you said really struck a chord with me. And you said that when you were practicing as a medical doctor, and all you could do was to heal people's physical ailments, but you could see that in the general society there was so much wrong. There was so much poverty and other social issues going on, and you knew that where your calling laid wasn't to be a doctor, and you actually stopped practicing. Yes.
I that was a very tough decision to make, because I have to give up on a lot of social status, a lot of income, and I kind of have to disappoint my family and friends to a certain degree, because they want me to be a doctor. That's a glorious career to just give up on, right? But that did not give me fulfillment. That wasn't meant to be my path in life. So I gave up, and I just embarked in this very unknown journey that I didn't know what I want to be. I knew what I don't want to be, and I have some clue I want to be social justice.
Is that not some of our audience? I would love to ask you, is that not where some of you are, where you know what you don't want, but you don't know where you want to go to?
Exactly.
If that is you, please let us know and pop it into the comments box. box. We've also just having a look here that Norma Jean has joined us, Sandra Brandt, Julie Grant.
Yvonne, I see Yvonne. Hi Yvonne, thanks for joining.
Hello Yvonne. And Loretto, Urso, Thatcher and Laura Betts has joined. Welcome darlings to the show. We really do appreciate it. And there's a whole bunch of other people that's joined and watching us.
Amazing.
If this is your story that you have found yourselves as women where you know exactly what you don't want to do, you know that's not the path, but you don't know where to go to, please let us know. Please drop in some comments in there, because that's where you found yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then how did you find?
It was a long journey, and I had to try many different things, go to different sectors, work with different pieces of project, do so many things, and to see how I interact with different things and how I respond. And I always trust my intuition, and I nurtured that over the years. So it took me a few years to try different things, and then I came to Canada as an immigrant about 12-13 years ago. And that also was a total new environment for me to try what I want to do, what I don't want to do. And I always had this passion for social justice and bringing and, building a society that gives opportunity to everyone to grow. And if you are not, it's not because the lack of the opportunity. Not everyone is equal to everyone else. Not everyone tries the way that everyone else does. But if you have equal opportunities, then you cannot blame anyone. But sometimes the opportunities are systemically kind of taken away from us. So that was my dream, to be in social justice. I started a career community development. I've been in that 7-8 years, very successful. My work has been featured in Toronto Star several times, my community building work, and the group of leaders that I have trained in this privileged neighborhood that I work. They do amazing work. I have newspaper pieces for that. But then I felt, okay, what about my old passion? What about my love and dream about women? And I knew how much women can have contribution to this social justice piece. If they bring that feminine part out, that nurturing, that beautiful, that peaceful, that wise, that intuitive, bring that to leadership.
Most women in business squash that because they become very masculine and put on their suits and black clothes and go to work, and they don't see any value in those feminine qualities at all.
That's something that you have to hide it somewhere.
But it's silly, because that's the stuff that changes the world. When we are ourselves and embrace it that we can change social systems, we can change business systems.
I had this mentor, and she was talking about femininity. I said, if you look at the most powerful men in the world, what they were scared. You look at the Pope, you look at the spiritual leader.
Right? The most powerful men in the world wear skirts.
Scottish men.
I love it.
So I know that's just a way she was. But I'm trying. They are in touch with I'm trying to say they are in touch with their feminine power, and it's all about having that balance of masculine and feminine. And I often have to bring myself back to track, because as a career woman, successful career woman, as you said, you're too much into feminine.
Yeah.
And sometimes my boyfriend tells me, honey, you're trying to take charge too much. Just let it go sometimes. So, okay. Thanks for bringing me back to track, right?
Wow.
So that's a balance you have to always work and put value of this feminine. And it's all about peace. We have so much war and conflict and problem in the world. If we bring more feminine to leadership style, and it doesn't have to be a woman. If men bring more feminine style, we will have less of that.
And that's the trend now, is that men are like men who are now a stay-at-home parenting. They, the women are going out to earn and the men are staying home looking after children. So there is this shift in humanity's consciousness where men are embracing more of their nurturing, caring, feminine qualities. Yes. But what we need to educate women on now is to say, bring that balance in the male and the feminine energy as well. Yes. So I'm so on board with you with this. I think it's very important. It's important in business, especially.
It is, and for some women who are too much into their feminine energy, they need to bring their masculine up. Yeah. They need to set goals. They need to go out there and act and achieve their goals in order to become strong, and they can be who they want to be.
Because if you're too much in the feminine, you dream. You're visionary, you dream, but you don't take action. The masculine comes in and says, okay, let's make it happen. That complete balance.
Yes.
I'm with you. So the Flourishing Women's Circle, what are the goals for this group? I know you're writing a book.
Yes.
She's writing a book.
Yes.
You got it now. I also published with Raymond Aaron. So you have that. He teaches you to say, I am the author of the upcoming book.
Yes. Yes. I'm the author of the upcoming book. The Flourishing Woman, Live a Life of Passion, Purpose and Beauty. That's the title of the book.
She nailed it, Raymond. Well done.
It took me a while to nail that, but thank you. Yes, so it's all about putting this vision of this woman that I have observed and I'm trying to become myself. Yeah. This woman who has this balanced, beautiful masculine and feminine. She is beautiful, she is peaceful, she is nurturing, she is wise, all the feminine qualities, she is intuitive. But she is an achiever too.
An achiever as
she
well.
Is financially independent. That's huge. If you're dependent to someone else for your day to day, you can't make much happen in the world, unfortunately, right? Yeah. So she is financially independent. She is a force for good in the outside world. She just not only looks at herself and her family and the people surrounding her, but she looks at the bigger society and she tries to give back. So giving back is a huge part of Flourishing Women's Circle. Doing charity work, contributing to advocacy. That's actually one of our 3 pillars. We have 3 pillars in Flourishing Women's Circle. Okay. One is to build the life of our dream as an individual, as a woman.
And that's following your own soul calling.
Exactly. Yeah. And live your passion. Have a career or have a business or do something that lives your soul purpose, as you said, or your passion. That's the first pillar. So helping the person to feel happy and fulfilled. Okay. Second pillar is giving and contribution. So we have to be aware of the privilege that I was privileged to go to university and get higher education. Yeah. Maybe a woman born in Afghanistan doesn't have that privilege. How can that happen, right? Yeah. Yeah. And the third thing is about sisterhood and support. Because without a network, without support, we can't have anything, right? Yeah. So we're trying to build these very strong bonds among the group members. Which is beyond business networking. Of course, business networking is very, very valuable and important. Yeah. But if you don't have that close relationship, like a sister that checks on a sister every day or every week and make sure they are good, what they need, what they have to happen. And as entrepreneur, or if you decide to live your passion, you often are left only out there in the world. Because many people don't want you to change, don't want you to, the way they dream for your life, they don't want to be with you in that day. So you have to create this new sisterhood. That's the third element, and the third pillar.
And I like that you're creating this umbrella body, and you're doing you. It's a Facebook group that you've created. You've got this book that's going to come out and talk about it. You have meetings. Yes. So that is important. That because one of the things we do so well with social media is we can do a lot of communication through the camera and through Facebook, but it's the meeting in person that is so important. Yes. So I actually want to also give a shout out to a friend of ours, Heidi Allen, with the Positive People's Army. She's having a meeting on Wednesday. It's called Six in the City. It's actually quite a play on the Six in the City program. And it's great for us to have the show, and Heidi very kindly lets us share this on the PPA. Yes. But you actually want to go out and meet the members as well. You don't just want to see a little box and a little face. You want to go to these meetings and actually engage with people. So I love that you're doing that. I love that you're saying, come into a room, let's talk, let's meet, and it's not just online.
No, that's something I'm really committed to, because as you said, we have got a lot of edge with social media and with online world, which is great, right? Yeah. It brings us from all continents and countries together. You have you can find friends all over the world, but at the same time, that sometimes gives you a little bit of false comfort that you are in touch, but that in really, person, it never.
As I shared with you upstairs, I didn't want to do a show where we had the split screen. I wanted to do it where I had people physically present on the set, chatting and getting to know them this way. It was very important for me.
And we spend a good chunk of time with each other every month, because I don't think nothing can replace that in-person element. Yeah. And when you get to see someone, if you have a good intuition, if you work on your intuition, you right away understand who they are. You don't need to read their. That's how I do hiring in my work. I do a lot of hiring, and people ask me to recommend people to them for work. And I would say, if I don't say 100%, 99.9, I go right recommending the person. because when I see the person, I just feel their energy. I don't need to look at their resume. I don't need to
Business
call
card,
reference.
just you
Just
feel
energy,
it.
energy. You know what I mean? So it's so important. Hi, Heather.
Heather says, I'm so happy to be a part of your Flourishing Women's Circle, Mandana. Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm blessed to have you, Heather.
And Jeanette, she's all the way from Spain. She's a regular fan of the Magenta show. She says, Mandana, you have a lovely energy. Well done, much love. And you got a big heart from her.
Thank you,
oh, isn't that lovely? Wow, it's nice when you get
so
comments
beautiful.
like that. Yeah. And Michael's just scrolling up down for us there. Yvonne said, you inspire me in so many areas. That's Yvonne Cassine. Oh,
Thank
there you go. Oh.
Wow, the vice versa. Yeah, I got so much. She's a very driven and passionate woman. Yvonne,
wow, well
personally.
done, well done.
Wow.
Well, there you go. It's lovely. Isn't it lovely when the community tunes in as well?
It is.
So I asked Mandana earlier today what kind of color reading you would like, and we kind of just said, well, let's have a look at your date of birth, because one of the things you do is you like to help women find their passion. So sometimes when they have an idea what they don't want, but they don't know which way to go, yes, you like to help them find that. And honestly, that's what we do with the color mirror system.
Wow.
Is we use colors and we kind of decode your date of birth. So one of my favorite things to do on the Magenta show is to show people your date of birth and your birth colors, just based on your date of birth. So you kind of gave it to me just before we went live, and you are born on the 20th. And that is magenta on top and it's copper at the bottom. So that's the day that you are born. And this bottle in the color mirror system is called Awakening. So you've come with a very purposeful, driven energy to awaken humanity.
Wow.
To wake them up, to shift. That's this whole while you were doing your medical work and your practice, and you just you had to do something bigger, your social justice system, that is because of this bottle.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know what my brand is? Awaken Your Flourishing Woman. Wow.
It's exactly Awaken Your Flourishing Woman. We're just going to pop it up that it gets onto the camera there. So I'm going to put it that second. But I need you to see it a little bit as well, all right? Then if we take 2 plus 0, it comes to 2. So there comes the masculine energy, the reason why you get things done. The reason why you complete all your studies, you complete projects, when you commit to something, you see it through, because you've got this incredible strength in this blue energy that comes in for you as part of your soul colors, because these are colors that are part of your soul. They're the gifts that literally when you came to this planet, that God sent with you. And that blue energy is the masculine energy that says get things done. So you won't fall around fluffy saying I'm going to do something and then don't actually do it, because you can't, because naturally part of your energy is to get things done and form partnerships, because all these twos is about working in partnership with people. You're not here to do things on your own.
No.
You're definitely here to work in partnerships.
Makes a lot of sense.
How does that 20 and the 2 feel for you?
I think it says a lot about me, honestly, Moira. I have to say, you said working in partnership. I'm famous for doing partnership at my job. I have a day job in community development. I'm the one that always looking for partner. I don't think I should do anything alone. Not I can't do it. I shouldn't do it alone. Yeah. That's one. I think it speaks a lot.
It's you're naturally drawn to do that. What I like about the Awakening with copper is really staying grounded, doing things in a very practical way. I love that. The magenta, of course, is the Magenta show. You can see our logo is magenta as well.
Beautiful.
And I had this feeling to wear magenta for you today. Magenta is about bringing 2 split worlds together, bringing male and female together, bringing spirituality and materiality together. Anywhere where people feel separated and lost, bringing them together and causing them that awakening moment. So it's very, very powerful date of birth that you have.
Wow.
And the colors tell the story. Yeah.
Wow.
So then the total number and color you come to is 27. So when we added all the digits in your date of birth, it came to 27, which is gold and orange. And 27 is called the harvest. It's harvest. So this is all about being in a lifetime where you can achieve anything you want. It's like you've had this round on this planet a few times, like you're an old soul that's been around the cycles. And in this lifetime, it's been set up that you can harvest all the seeds you've planted and all the times that you've touched this planet and touched the energy of this world and this creation. and things will just happen for you. So people will sense that about you when they're around you, that, you know, if they kind of tag on to you and hang on to your skirt tails a little bit and be in your groups, that they're going to come to a full harvest in themselves as well. So which is great for completion. So when you start with somebody and you work with them, you take them through to that completion where they can harvest whatever it is, the seeds they planted at the beginning of the relationship with you. So that's really very powerful.
Wow.
But the gold is also about a lot of wisdom that you're bringing up within you, and also that's what you help other women in your community bring up as well.
Wow, thank you.
Do you like the gold and the...
I love it, yeah. And you said, you know, I relate to a lot of things that you said. I'm still trying to digest everything.
That's recorded. You're about to watch it back.
I'm going to watch it again. I do. I was thinking of that.
A lot of our guests say they go watch it back.
But yeah, when you say I'm an old soul, I just feel that I'm an old soul. And I think I've been around. And this lifetime is to harvest. Wow, I can 100% relate to that. Thank you.
And I think, and also what I feel is, not think, I feel it, is that you've come with a very specific purpose. That's why you've not compromised yourself. You've stayed very true to what it is you need to do. It's like you have a mission, and that's it. Yes. And there's nothing and nobody that can stop you.
No.
Very powerful energy. So then if we added the 2 and the 7, it comes to 9. And here comes your red color.
Ooh, my favorite color is red.
So red, beautiful red sitting on that lovely orange. So again, orange coming in for you here. Orange is a color of bliss and enlightenment, and it's a color of creativity, and it's a color of sociability. So it's a good color to create all these networks to bring people together. So, you know, creating network groups and organizations is very important for you. But the red on top and the 9, this relates to symbolically to the planet Mars, which again is a masculine planet, but it's a planet of war, because they say Venus is the planet of love and female energy, and Mars is the planet of going to war. And very often people who have this as their in their date of birth says that they've come here to change the planet's story around war. Stop going to war. Stop fighting and start loving instead. So you've come in with that energy that says, you know, you don't fight things right, you love things right. And this also relates to fire. You know, orange and red is all fire energy. So you're a bit of a firecracker. So when you make up your mind to do something, no one's going to stop you.
And I do it so subtle.
You just singe when they're around you. Yeah. And the other thing with the 9 is that it's about completion. So again, I love the journey that you take in your life to make sure everything comes to a completion. You start something, you complete it. But again, this is the energy that you're helping other women in your groups do. Is yes, it's about awakening, and yes, it's about taking action and the masculine energy to get things going. Yes, it's about reaping the harvest of the seeds that you've sown. But in the 9, it says bringing things to a completion, not giving up. I think if you were faced with somebody who said you they're about to give up, you would be able to turn them around. You would definitely help.
I've done that several times.
Yeah,
because a lot of my coaching clients, yes.
Yeah, they can literally come to you and go, I'm at the end, or I've given up on myself, and you will go, no, there is a way out, and you'll find it.
Yes.
Bringing them to that cycle of completion.
Wow. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. So much
isn't
to absorb.
Isn't the colours amazing though? How accurate?
Are.
You see why I love doing the show and working with the system since with Melissa Jolly. She's the founder of the system. I've been working with it since I had a first course with her in 2003, and I started actually studying it properly and becoming her business partner and taking it out into the world since 2004. I'm so passionate about this, and because it's just so accurate, and it just gives people their soul purpose like that.
It does, and you put everything about me in a nutshell, just interpretation of these colors and what they mean for me. Wow, I'm so impressed.
Yeah,
and do more of this work.
Yeah, well, this is why I meet people like you who have women who want to know how this works, so that we can start working with you together and start helping and bringing color into, because I think if you bring color, because part of the feminine energy is to be colorful.
It is.
You know, we wear color jewelry, we wear color clothes, we like to decorate our home in colors, we love receiving flowers that have got colors in them. So color is such an important part of our lives.
Is. Yes.
And you know, part of us nurturing ourselves and finding our gifts, I think color plays an important role.
Huge role. Yeah. I remember in Iran, most of the outfit that we have to wear in the street was black.
Yes.
So I had this yearning for color, and when I did my first trip to other countries, I was just so stunned by the amount of color, and I tried to bring that back to my life when I was living in Iran. So it has a huge impact on your psychology and your sense of joy and everything.
Yeah.
Right?
And having said that, we'll give our audience their color card reading for the week, because I know what card you picked. So, my darlings, for those of you who picked number 1 out of 1, 2, or 3, if you haven't yet picked, you've got a few seconds to quickly pick which one you're drawn to, and that's going to be a little message for you for the week. If you've picked number 1, you have picked Mandana's choice and pick of the week. And guess what it is? Black card.
Wow.
Can you believe it? All right, so let's show it to the audience here. So what you have here, my darlings, for those of you who've picked number 1, is you've picked the rebirth card. It's a black card. It's Phoenix. It's a black card, and it talks about, being in that period of time in your life when you felt everything is dark around you, you can't see light at the end of the tunnel. But to acknowledge and accept that that's not a bad place. A lot of people think black's a bad thing, that you shouldn't be in a black spot, you shouldn't be depressed, you shouldn't be feeling down. But, very often you need to go into that. It's like a cocoon. You need to go into that to find a new identity.
And it's a very strong color, black.
Very strong color. It gives you that safety net to wrap around you, so that when you do come out, you are then this incredible new phoenix rising from the ashes.
Wow.
Yeah. So for those of you who picked the same card as Mandana this week, the number 1s, watch out for signs for this week of rebirth opportunities coming towards you, new things, new connections, new ideas coming in. Be on the alert, because it's going to, especially with the flourishing circle that you've birthed now. You are giving birth. It's a new baby. It's a new project.
It is.
And just be open for opportunities to take and expand that even further to what you've been able to envisage.
I just started with meeting you and having this show, so I think that cards tell the truth about this.
I think we could do it.
Hi Sarah, hi Paul, good to see you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, Gloria Clark, she's chosen number 2 as well. All right, so those of you who've chosen number 2, you have got my pick of the week, and I remember Dwayne, you also picked it. It's the Magenta Bridge Unpanic. So for those of you who picked number 2 and you are doing something stressful at the moment that might be time sensitive, I want you to unpanic. You take a deep breath, wear magenta like I am. Hello, I mean, look at this. And then randomly picked a card. It was not conscious. It was flat when we picked it. I'm in magenta. Unpanic. Everything's going to be okay. I'm busy working on Michael's visa application for the lawyer, and I was like, every minute I sit and I type things up, I'm in a little mild panic. So, the immigration
Give me a
stuff.
form, I will panic.
Oh,
give me forms to fill in.
Okay, so for those of you number 2, if you've got forms to fill in, don't panic. Unpanic. Use magenta to get you out of it. Everything is going to be okay. The thing with magenta is the color is like a bridge. It says that even though you can't see where the bridge is, but you have to cross a busy stream and you don't know how you're going to get to the other side, you mustn't panic, because your soul, the universe, God, whoever you believe in or whatever you believe in has already built the bridge. You just can't see it yet. And so when the time comes for you to cross it, it's going to happen like that, and you're going to be okay. So for those of you who picked number 3, you have picked, we have a guest in the studio behind the scenes, Maria Angelova is here. She kindly brought Mandana into the studio, and she opened season 4 of the Magenta show and actually got the most views in season 4 as well.
Wow.
She won an award at our gala evening. So her pick of the week is, ta-da! Yellow joy, laugh and play.
Wow.
That's so appropriate for Maria, because
Yes.
she's this actress energy, and she loves to get people to laugh and play.
Yes.
And isn't
That's
that
who
just
she
her?
is. That's just her. Exactly who she is.
So my
So
darling,
joyful, so bubbly,
she is that. We love when Maria's here behind the scenes having a giggle. So for those of you who picked number 3, this is a week for you to take time out to play. You definitely got to go and watch a comedy show, or go and laugh and play. And I know here in the winter the daffodils aren't out yet, but pretend they are. Go and get some daffodils and put them in your kitchen. Put something yellow around you. Bring some cheer into this gloomy winter that we've had. A really long winter, haven't we?
Winter.
And it's been very cold. It's like minus 21 outside apparently at the moment. So really just bring some yellow into your life and do what Maria does, and just laugh at the blues of winter.
It's interesting. She's wearing yellow too today. See?
Yeah.
I just want to say something. Moira is one of the members of Flourishing Women's Circle. And when I talk about sisterhood, when I started this group, even before I start talking to group about my vision of the group, She called me. I started the group in February. She called me in December because I was supposed to be in January. She said, "You want to go to Moira's show? I take you there. I don't drive, and I live pretty far from here." So the sisterhood was already manifesting without even me talking, just putting that thought into the universe. I'm so grateful to you, Maria.
We love Maria. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your wonderful, beautiful, radiant energy with myself, my crew, and with our lovely audience. We really appreciate it, and we wish you all the best and all the success in the world.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity.
And your group. And Michael's been flashing up all the images, and afterwards, please go and pop in a link to the group as well, so that people can go and join it or like it.
Yes.
And and so they can get notifications when you're having a meeting and how the whole process is unfolding.
Sure.
Yeah. And we I believe Karen Mullen, Raymond's wife, is honorary chair as well.
Yes.
So shout out to Karen, and just amazing woman as well.
She is a really example of flourishing woman. She has this beautiful. She has mastered wealth and achievement and leadership. She had the best career, the best money, everything, but she has this beautiful soft feminine energy. She has this caring, giving heart, and she's into everyone's need, there to help. So she has this beautiful combination of feminine and masculine. I really, really admire, and I look up to her as an example and inspiration for myself.
Wonderful. Well, my darling, thank you so much for being on the show. Angels, thank you for tuning in and for being here. Michael, thank you for producing another great show. We love you. And from myself and from Mandana, cheers.
Thank you, guys.
See you next week.
See you.